Hey guys, Wolfrin88 here, and today I'll be joined by Dan Predator, Fiddler on the Roof, and Dazzler86, and we're going to be talking about the top 12 games of 2016, or at least our top 12 games of 2016. Obviously, these are just our opinions, but I think we're pretty much spot on. Horizon Zero Dawn is an action role-playing game being developed by Guerrilla Games. In the game, you play as the heroine named Aloy, a hunter/archer, and she's progressing through a post-apocalyptic land which is ruled by mechanized creatures such as robotic dinosaurs. The game is set 1,000 years in the future, in which human civilization has long been abandoned due to a world being dominated by robotic creatures. The game developer considered this a risky concept, with role-playing elements set to be between Assassin's Creed and the Elder Scrolls. They also incorporated a dynamic day and night cycle, flowing weather system, and it's rumored to have no loading screens. Detroit Become Human is an upcoming science fiction game being developed by Quantic Dream. The main character, Kara, is a freshly produced android with artificial consciousness, and she's discovering what it's like to live amongst humans in Detroit. She ultimately struggles to find her place as an autonomous android in a world where androids are still without consciousness and considered as practical tools, only to improve the comfort and value of human lives.
My name is Kara. I am one of them. This is our story.
Right, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is one of the most highly anticipated remakes of a classic game ever. The initial release date of PlayStation 1 itself was way back in 1997. The fans of the Square Enix have been waiting years for this since the rumours surfaced. The game itself will be broken up into an episodic series due to the sheer size of the game. When it was first released, it was a 4-disc PlayStation 1 game, which was really pain in the arse to keep having to insert different discs to get into different parts of the game. The release date for the first episode is supposed to be 2016, but unfortunately Square Enix have a tendency of delaying games.
What can we say about the new Mass Effect? Well, not much really, or at least nothing official. There is a lack of official document or word coming out from the Mass Effect team about anything in the game. We do have people that are analyzing these videos, and the fans will know that there are certain things that stand out in these trailers, but besides that, the rest is all just hearsay. I don't want to comment on any of it and get everybody's hopes up, so I'll just leave it as is and just say Mass Effect's going to be an awesome game. If you've played the previous Mass Effects before, then you know the next one is just going to be another epic adventure.
Tekken 7 is a fighting game developed by Namco Entertainment, as it had limited arcade release in Japan on February 18, 2015, followed by another unfinished release on beta stage. However, on December 12th this year, it was announced that the game will feature an expanded content.
Kazuya no kota mo.
Far Cry Primal is the 5th instalment by Ubisoft for the Far Cry franchise. Thankfully, the studio is actually rather good at punting out first-person shooters by now. In the previous games, the storylines have been about destroying and defeating an evil tyrant to liberate a community. The gameplay is always solid in the campaign, it's easy to jump in and out of. From the gameplay and the trailers I've seen from Far Cry Primal, this game is a new adaptation and predates the previous games. It's focused around the time frame of mammoths and saber-toothed tigers. So this is, for a newcomer, this series will be easy to pick up and play. I've always thought the multiplayer is something unique about it. If it is loosely based on Far Cry 4's platform, it will make for a great game really. The game is set to hit the shelves on the 23rd of February, early next year.
For Honor, it is a competitive third-person melee fighting game mixing speed, strategy and team play with close range combat in multiplayer action. The release date is yet to be announced. The game will come with a single player campaign based on history, not fantasy, so don't expect any dragons, wizards to pop up in the campaign.
Hitman is a third-person stealth game in which you play as Agent 47, a well-trained assassin. The game's developer, Square Enix, has done its best for this to be an approach from any angle type game, with each mission being set in a mini sandbox and the ability to tackle it in any way you want, be it sniping from a long range, putting a disguise on to get up close and personal, or going loud with explosives. Levels are much larger than in previous Hitman games and there is no longer a checkpoint save system. Players can now save their progression at any time during the mission. Returning fans of the series may be pleased to know that they have kept the contracts mode, in which you can create scenarios and targets and share them with other players. Overkill's Walking Dead is being developed by the same studio that brought you the Payday series. This action, role-playing survival horror game will play as a first-person co-op stealth shooter, in which you'll explore the Walking Dead universe while fending for yourself in a post-apocalyptic world heavily populated by walkers.
According to a tweet by DICE development director Dan Vaderland, now that Battlefront has been launched, he has now been transferred over to do the next Battlefield, while his team continues to still work on Battlefront. This next game in the series will be the first one they have released in a year after the previous, as normally they try to bring them out every 2 years. Despite this, EA has its release date set for 2016. On the plus side, it will be returning back to the traditional military settings.
The Division is an online open-world RPG. You play in third person as an agent whose mission is to restore order to a country where a pandemic on Black Friday has caused the government to collapse in just 5 days. Your playground is New York. Team up with other agents and work together to take control and fight your way through, but beware of who you choose to play with, as the city has many dark zones in which your team could choose to go rogue and kill you for any valuable infected loot you may have collected while inside.
Uncharted 4 is a highly anticipated game as well. This game is where if you're new to the series or not, you'll be able to pick up the game, jump straight in and immerse yourself really easily. It's easy to play and the storylines are really strong. The multiplayer is as strong as the campaign. Uncharted 3's multiplayer had a long and very strong lifespan as it was so successful, and the quality of the gameplay was there as well. The actual game itself is about somebody called Nathan Drake, who's an explorer. It's a puzzle-based game, but it's a third-person shooter. It's top draw, the gameplay as well. The Uncharted 4 beta multiplayer dropped itself recently. The Naughty Dog seems to have taken all the positives from number 3, Freeze Online, and slapped all the bits for number 4 on it. To be honest, I would highly recommend this game being on your list for 2016. And Naughty Dog are very good with Uncharted, so I think this is a contender for the best game of the year as well, with the storyline and the multiplayer. It's going to live long, this game.
You look better on the ground. See ya!
All coming back to me now! Oh no! Ah!